Well, Houston, we have a problem. This will be a hard-learned lesson, this one. So the dinghy was tied to the back of the boat. The weather came in and it was howling a gale. I mean like 25 knots of wind. And the sea heaping up in the estuary here. And I looked out and saw the dinghy, you know, yanking about. I thought, I'm going to go and take it off. I'll make a cup of tea first. When I looked at it again, it was gone. And now, typically of course, at the time it was howling a gale and pissing with rain and pitch black. There's nothing, there really is nothing you can do except watch the bloody thing sail away. Now of course, I am trapped aboard and faced with the prospect of swimming ashore in the freezing bloody cold tomorrow, which whilst it would be unpleasant, is not the end of the world. More importantly, there's a dinghy and, you know, an 800 quid engine on the back of it, which is somewhere in the wind. Of course it will have gone directly downwind, so I've got a rough idea where it'll be. It's times like this when I wish I had a mate, you know. All I need is a dinghy and a pair of oars, you know, and I'll go and find it. God damn it. What I should have done is taken the engine off, definitely. And maybe lifted it up onto the deck or something. I don't know. I'll need to think about that. And think of a way to retrieve the dinghy. That's, you know, best case scenario, it's still the right way up and it's washed up somewhere. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, it's flipped over and is torn to pieces on a rock somewhere. In which case it's a total loss, isn't it? God damn it. What an idiot. What an idiot. I should know better than that. Oh, okay. It's pretty much low tide now. It was 2 hours before low tide when the dinghy went. We're on Neeps, the end of Neeps, so it was sort of just coming on to Springs really, but it's lowish tides, lowish range. The wind was howling. It must have been 25 knots. It must have been, you know, and the sea was heaping up. When the dinghy went, I think I must have heard it because I looked out. I saw the dinghy, came below to get a torch, and by the time I got back up there, it was almost out of sight. So it was really motoring down there. I'm here, and if I'm very, very lucky, that dinghy will have gone ashore on this mud bank at low tide, and the tide will have continued to go out whilst the wind is still pushing it in that direction, so it will have come to rest, stuck fast there, and it'll be there. If I'm unlucky, it will have gone further, and that's quite a lot further, so that's a mile pretty much, and it'll be up there somewhere. You can see that there is a channel up here. Now, I never venture up there in Roqueta, never, because obviously the risk of running aground around here is quite high. I think what I'm going to do is sound red alert in the boat, turn all the lights off so that I can see. I've got my 7x50 binoculars, which are good at light gathering, and I've got some long ropes. I'll just see if I can spot it, because I know that the topography of the riverbank there it's quite likely at low tide that I could almost shove the bows up into the mud and maybe cast a line over the dinghy if it's there. Best I can do. Can't film it because it's dark. If it's not there, I can at least chug up the river on a rising tide, so if I do go aground I can get off again and see if I can spot it. And if I'm very lucky, it'll be still the right way up. That'll be good. And not too far away. You never know, you never know. I'm going to try, I've got to try, because I've got to try. It's not so much the dinghy, that's quite old now, but the engine, it's only a couple of years old. It was 800 quid. I can't just say goodbye to it, you know, I've got to go and find it, if I can. Keep you posted. So, you won't be be able to see me, of course. I'm just creeping up the river now at low tide, using my 7x50s to scan the shoreline. I've got to be honest, it's not looking promising. I've been at this now for an hour, hoping against hope that I can spot my dinghy. It wasn't on the mud bank that I hoped it would be. We're all the way up here now, just about to go into a little deep spot, thankfully, because it's getting quite shallow here. I've managed to not run aground so far. The tide's definitely rising now, albeit slowly. I think it's on to plan 36A subsection 12, where I will have to, as a matter of it being something of an emergency, I'll have to stand the boat alongside the quay at Car Green. Okay, I'm back on the mooring, no sign of the dinghy, although it was dark. But there is a reflective strip all around the gunnels on that, and I have my torch. I did the best I could, I couldn't find it. I'm going to get a couple of hours sleep, and then I'm going to motor the boat alongside at Car Green, tied up. That'll be 3 o'clock in the morning at high tide. Fortunately, there's no more bad weather coming in, it's calmed down now, it's going to stay calm. Then I'll run to the yacht club, steal a dinghy. If I can find one dinghy that isn't locked and one pair of oars that's serviceable, I will do that, row back to the boat, put the boat back on its mooring, and then I'll have a dinghy on the mooring with the boat, and then I'll be able to get ashore, put the dinghy back where I found it, unharmed. Let's not lose two boats in one night, eh? Alright, no springers, I'm going to be gone for half an hour. So there is 1.4 metres here. Range of the tide is 3.6. 1/12 in the first hour, 2/12. I've got at least an hour to get back here, at least. That could have been worse. So I reckon that in the next 2 hours, 90 centimetres of water will go out. And that'll still leave me a margin of about 60 centimetres to get off. I'll be able to get this done in less than an hour. Job's a good one. This one's perfect. In only 20 minutes, plenty of room left, plenty of water left. Part 1 of Operation Rescue Justin complete. I have managed to secure requisition a tender. Got the boat. I mean, I've done some things tonight, my God. I've taken the boat in the dark up the Tamar River, where I've never been before at low tide and not got aground or hit any other boats. Touch wood, you know. I've taken it alongside at the quay down there, tied it up and left it, and that all went surprisingly smoothly as well. And now I have a tender. I can at least get ashore. And at first light, the search for the tender to Roqueta resumes. It's daylight. Let's have a little scan around. Nice clear day. I think that's it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. If that is it, I don't deserve it. I deserve to have lost that dinghy forever for my careless stupidity. That's it. That's my boat. Good God. Well, it's a boat, I know, but it's my boat. Might be able to see the houses here. Just across from the houses there's like a brownish coloured house on the hill. You won't be able to see it on the GoPro, but if you're straight down from that, there's the boat. That's about 3/4 of a mile probably to row. Outstanding. I'm going to get a bit closer and get some more footage. Can you believe that? Huh, I can't, I'll tell you that. Right. I shall re-steal the dinghy that I stole and get over there. I mean, there's still a lot of mud. I won't be able to get up to it yet, but I imagine by the time I've got over there I probably will. You couldn't make it up because you're unbelievable. There you go. Right, stolen dinghy. What's this one? I deserve this. I deserve it. So I need to suck it up. I quite like rowing. I used to row my brother's oyster punt around the place all the time. I used to love it. Rowing a rubber dinghy sucks, especially in any kind of wind or tide. There's a slight breeze that's going towards Tavistock. A fairly strong mid-tide now going towards Tavistock. I want to go towards Plymouth, so that sucks. Not even halfway. Okay, definitely right side up. And the engine's still on it. Oh, you lucky bastard. I ain't over till a fat lady sings it. I need to get over there, but would you Adam and Eve it? I wouldn't believe that. What's even more impressive, you know, there's a lot to be said for 7x50 binoculars. It's surprising what you can see with those, because they're not so zoomed in. You can get a good field of view. There she is, look, and I spotted it from way over there. Oh, all I've got to do now is get to it. This could be a shoes and socks off job. I might even have to roll my trouser legs up. Gotcha. Still inflated, doesn't seem damaged, everything exactly as I left it. All I got to do now is get it out of here. Fantastic. That's what went wrong then. Out of there. Well, I'm back aboard. That was a hell of a day, and a hell of a night actually. The dinghy is back where it should be. Properly lashed off there. There's no way that's going anywhere, is it? Got a long bit of spare anchor road on there, just so that I can just sleep easy. I mean, the weather isn't supposed to be anything like what it was last night. It was like a squall. I mean, the nearest thing I've ever seen to it was in St Martin's. It just went from just a classic Caribbean squall. It just went from dead calm to hurricane to dead calm in about 15 minutes. But this lasted for about an hour here. Whew. The only other casualty for the night is a broken bronze hinge on the door. God damn it. Must be 100 years old, that thing. I don't know where I'm going to get replacements for those. If I can't find anything suitable, it's going to have to be washboards instead of hatch doors. Never mind, could be worse. So all that dreadful cock up has cost me is a pair of wet willies. I should count myself very, very lucky. Moral of the story is, use more than one line on your dinghy. Don't rely on the little rubber eyes that come with it, because they're garbage. And if you know bad weather is coming, you've got to take the engine off to make it light, you know. You've got to take the engine off. Although, with the engine off, I'd never have found it. The reason it was laying with its nose right up in the air is because the engine was on the back and it sort of fallen into a ditch when the tide went out. So lucky I found that, God, so lucky. See you next time.